Hello everybody, my name is RagingRaptor and I welcome you to a new World of Tanks preview video. Today we have some rather interesting news. Yes, we have two different new tanks and well, one of those tanks gives us the idea that we will get a new sub-branch or a branch which has at least one new tier 10 tank, one new tier 9 and one new tier 8 tank. And well, the first one being a possible replacement of the 215 BFV with the 183mm gun. And the other thing is, we will get most likely new tier 10, tier 9 and tier 8 French heavy tanks. Let's go first with the FV217. Well, the most important thing is that Wargaming wants us to give something which is, well, yeah, which is natural. They say it here. The FV217 seems like a natural conclusion to the line. And why exactly? Because up from tier 5, you start to drive 20 kilometers per hour forward. You have from tier 5 to tier 9 reasonable front armor, reasonable gun traverse angles, and reasonable DPM. Actually, one of the best in the game. Hashtag just tortoise things. But this, well, when you come to the FV215-183, back in the days you solely grinded that tank to blow up IS-7s, to blow up stuff, because you had 275 or 270 millimeters of hash penetration as far as I remember. Even more earlier, and it used to be working as AP rounds, meaning, oh, you hit the side and the tracks. Well, good day, oh, Blimey O'Reilly. Welcome to your blow up. Yes, you used to blow up things a lot because you did tons of damage and you are a nasty fella to face. Those times are kind of over after the HD model, after several nerfs to the 183, which I am personally really happy about because jeez was it annoying to get one shot or losing 1700 HP roughly in a checkpoint 700 because he hit your lower plate and had almost always a pen on it. Doesn't matter how you angled, which is annoying. Anywho, the 217 is a tank or a tank destroyer subject, or not subject, project made on the Conqueror chassis, as you can see here, or here. The good thing about it is it's, well, rather strongly armored or rather fast, 48 kilometers per hour fast on roads and 30 kilometers on cross country. So, well, if you get 30 kilometers per hour on this thing, I would say, hey, that's pretty good. And, well, it used to have the 120mm L11 gun, as you can see, meaning that this tank would have an amazing DPM if they would even step it up the notch from the tortoise. But, now comes the big but. Look at this model. Do you see something funky looking? Now we go back to the model. Do you see what I mean? This is a needle gun. This is a rather big one. And you can see in front of here, it also has something like a muzzle brake, which would theoretically mean that this is a big gun and it needs some, when the shot goes out, it gets propulsed by the explosion. Then, well, some of the gases get pushed back, so it counterbalances. And this is what a muzzle brake is for, to disperse that huge and immense power. Most of the time found on big guns. And, well, here we have it. I'm pretty sure that Wargaming wants to introduce the FV217 with the 183mm gun. And I personally would say, geez, when you think about it, please give us both opportunities. I think it would be amazingly fun to have one tank or one of those variants, or have the ability to choose from the 120mm gun, which is an amazing DPM machine, with the 183mm gun. Also, I think that Wargaming says, they're legit saying that the playstyle should be the same, meaning that this tank will most likely be slightly faster and has rather strong armor and decent enough gun traverse angles, I would say. Well, not that decent enough as on the Tortoise or the 8015, but the armor should still be a strong suit of that tank. If, well, it depends. It really depends. If they're taking it historically, then the armor wouldn't be that great. Lower plate would be a huge armor rack, 100 millimeters thick. It will, excuse me, it would be the same as the Conqueror. But well, if they decide to do some unhistorical buffs like they did with other tanks, hashtag FE4005 Stage 2, well, then we could see a new assault gun in the matters of an E3, in the matters of the new ZZ 113 TD, and I personally really look forward to it, because the chances are high that Wargaming will do the same as they did with the Foch B and the upcoming Super Conqueror, where they will give us the FV215B as the special tank as a crew trainer and leave the 217 on the top of the tree. Honestly, I think that would be a nice addition, and it is really fun to see new tanks in the game, and especially something which looks really that unique. Seriously, like this, it looks funky as hell. One thing I encountered when I was looking down here is that people were complaining why replace the FV215B 183 and not the Stage 2, because I think the Stage 2 is actually a real tank. Like, it really exists, it still exists even, while the 183 is kind of a mock-up that it kind of existed, but not really that much. Anywho, let's go to the next news, which will be 2 new tanks maybe in the game, or a half a tree, meaning the AMX M4 or 50 with the TCB 120 turret. Now, in the German video, I sadly were not able to show you what I meant, but let's take a short trip back into the time, back where there were no HD models. Back then, the T30 was the only tier 10 tank with a 750 damage gun and was a tier 10 heavy tank. Back then, when the T34 was tier 9 and, well, yeah, a heavy tank. Back then, it was 2011. Almost 2012, glorious days, 6 years ago, roughly. And this is a trailer, an update trailer to the update 7.0. And do you see this? A lot of sound. Yeah, well, you don't want to hear the sound, but as you can see, the T30 dies here, and what do we have here? That is an AMX variant. And this is the AMX variant I am talking about. It kind of has a wonky little cannon here, which I think is still really meh, but the chances are incredibly high that this will be the next tier 10 heavy tank of the French tech tree, because let's look at the evidence. The first evidence, obviously now from this post, is this will be the tier 9 tank with a really high certainty. It's rather certain that this will be the tier 9 tank. Why? The turret looks roughly the same as this one, as you can see. It has also those wonky ass form, this long cannon breech, and those lamps on a cupola. The lamps on a cupola, as you can see here, and really long turret plus this special cannon breech. Well, that is nice. Second off, why could it be the tier 9 tank and not the tier 10 tank or the tier 8 tank? First, the tier 10 tank is this beast. And as you can see from the hull form, this is a 50B hull. And it gets supported by these sketches. Because what do we see here? That's certainly a 50B hull looking, am I right? That would mean this tank might be coming to its really strong top speed of 50 kilometers per hour, which would make it a really interesting competitor for the tier 10 heavy tank slaughter. And third, why can't it be a tier 8 tank, this little fella here? Because in 2000, roughly 1 year ago, 1 year and 1 month, the AMX 56T got introduced into the super test. And this is also back then they confirmed that there will be a new tech tree. And this tank is tier 8 already. And what does it have? Rather good speed, rather good top speed, and rather good armor. Well, 100mm for tier 8 is rather decent because it has a nice little pike nose. But the most important part is the turret, 250mm frontal armor. And it doesn't stop there because, oh boy, look at that. the turret is even angled, and even the cupola is angled, meaning it has also really, really good bouncy stuffs on it. To that we have -8 gun depression, which is also a really, really great thing to have, let's be honest. Or let's be frank. And oh boy, I'm really, really looking forward to such a new tree. Why exactly, you might ask? First of all, the tier 9 tank will have roughly the same hull as the tier 8 premium Liberty, which is already in the game, or the AMX M4 MLE 94. Because let's look at the side from this hull. Let's look at this tank. Back again. I guess you get the gist. Sure, the road wheels don't exactly look the same. And yeah, but let's be honest. If you also look at here, they share similarities. They really share similarities. What is probably missing is here the cannon port, and I'm pretty sure that this front or this hull has more armor than tier 8 one, because hey, it needs to be in a tier 9 game. It needs to be tier 9 armor, because tier 9 tanks can rather easily shoot through such a hull when they can shoot from up down. And yeah, then with those little drawings here, we are pretty sure that we will get a 50B hull, and honestly, the 50B hull is not bad. I think many people underestimate it. Turret is rather, well, bad, let's be honest, of the AMX 50B. But the hull of the AMX 50B is rather strong, as you can see. It can go up to 300 effective armor on this bulge. Sure, when you go a little bit down, it gets worse, but then again, it is super nicely sloped. The hull is one of the most bounciest things in the game, I would say. Just then we have the 100mm turret, and everything is gone, except for the gun. When you hit the gun, you have a pretty high chance to either ricochet or to go into the turret and then penetrate. Well, I'm pretty sure that this tank won't have tier 10 degrees of gun depression. Oh boy, excuse me. But it will be I'm pretty damn sure that it will have something around 8 degrees. And honestly, a tier 10 tank, which is fast, with 120mm gun, great turret armor, and good enough gun depression, I think that would be a nice competitor to the 113, the WZ 111 5A, and 113 and I7, and the E5. Because the E5 is too slow, what WZ 113 has rather poor armor, and well, gun depression, well, it works, let's be honest. I don't really have it yet, so I can't really say definitely if it's good or bad. I heard it's really, really good because of the DPM. But honestly, I would really, really look forward to them. But anywho, guys, what do you think? I talked a lot now. I think I bombarded you with quite some news. What do you think about those changes? Are you looking forward to new tanks? Or is there something else? Like, do you want to see something like a Tortoise on tier 10? Or something like a Jackpan 700 with even a bigger gun but good armor? And what do you think about the upcoming tank tree? Let me know in the comment section below. I will keep you up to date when the stats are coming out of those different tanks. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, thanks for watching and good luck on the battlefield.